What up YouTube, it's your boy, Hauntin' Hootenanny Don Nuts. You can call me Haunty Don for short. 7 out of 10 likes to have a real positive vibe about it, doesn't like to review games that it doesn't like, cause, you know, they're passionate about it. Luckily they have me on retainer. If something ain't good, and they really want to talk about it, they bring me in before reviews of actually good games to talk about ones you should probably avoid. I'm here to talk to you about Adony. It's no good. You level up by grabbing apples that have vaginas on them. Just avoid it, it's bad stuff. Onrush is a team-based arcade-style vehicular combat game that plays like the bombastic myths between Burnout and SSX, and is easily the most fun I've had with a game all year. Stupidly fun, blisteringly fast, and incredibly inventive, Onrush is an absolute stunner of a game and is all but guaranteed to be dielded by fans of the genre as an instant classic. Throwing conventional racing tropes to the wayside, Onrush doesn't care about laps, finishing positions, or spending hours fine-tuning your car to match your personal preferences. Instead, the game is objective-based and encourages working together as a team in order to complete a specific goal. Team-based racing has always felt a bit forced to me when I've experienced it in other titles, but Onrush takes a surprising amount of influence from both the hero shooter and MOBA genres in order to make it feel more like the natural fit. The game has 8 vehicle classes to choose from, ranging from light and nimble bikes all the way up to weighty armoured vehicles. Each vehicle has 2 traits, effectively passive abilities, and 1 special move. If you've ever played Overwatch, the similarities are striking. Each vehicle falls into a specific role, such as support or offense. Each class complements each other, allowing for a surprising amount of depth when it comes to putting together a team, while still remaining impressively accessible to newcomers. Wanting to help your team? The Dynamo is a light vehicle that drops boost pickups for your team members, and whose special move supplies massive amounts of boost to nearby allies. The Titan, on the other hand, is a huge behemoth who provides shields to nearby teammates, their special move leaving behind a trail of blockades that slow the opposition down. If taking the fight to the enemy is more your style, then maybe try out the Charger, whose bulldoze ability makes short work of nearby opponents, knocking them out of the race with ease, whilst the Blade is an incredibly light motorcycle that can outmaneuver larger vehicles, but leaves behind a devastating fire trail when their special move is activated. Let's talk about attacking, because Onrush is all about that simple joy of smashing other vehicles to bits whilst driving 400 miles an hour. If your favourite parts of Burnout were when destruction was the core objective, Onrush is the game for you. The whole game revolves around this invigorating primal concept, and does so with unashamed bombast. Regardless of class, your boost stage is filled by performing huge jumps and taking down opponents. To ensure no player is ever left behind, the game forces everyone to be crammed together constantly, relishing in the chaos caused by forcing 12 players into a confined area whilst they all travel at ludicrous speeds, boosting and setting off special moves on a near constant basis. If you fall behind or crash your vehicle, the game spawns you fairly quickly right back into the thick of it. There's no room to breathe, and that's kind of what makes it great. In motion, this stampede of vehicles resembles something out of Mad Max Fury Road, and is endlessly thrilling to say the least. Each vehicle controls beautifully, movement feeling more arcadey and snappier than its realistic contemporaries, making for a tight experience that makes avoiding obstacles a breeze. Handy, considering the game's varied locations are a blend between wide open areas littered with ramps to jump off and various hazards just waiting for you to accidentally smash into, as well as tight bottlenecks that force teams into uncomfortably close quarters. Hitting opponents slows down time and has a crunchy, vicious feel that just, it hits that sweet spot. It's so satisfying. Mixed into this carnage are vehicles referred to charmingly as fodder, AI cars and bikes that can be easily smashed in order to quickly gain boost and acting like Onrush's equivalent to MOBA's minions. Put together, the game becomes a constant, furious spectacle of destruction. Onrush features 4 game modes, each one built around both teamwork and smashing your enemies into little bits. Overdrive is all about reaching a designated point level with your team accruing points by boosting. Countdown is all about gaining your team additional seconds on the clock by driving through thin gates, the mode quickly becoming an exhilarating battle to see who can reach the gate first before their team's timer runs out. Lockdown is effectively a point capturing mode, but the point itself zips around the track at a ludicrous speed, forcing players to simultaneously navigate their environment, match their speed to that of the zone, alongside avoiding enemies attempting to remove them from the area. Finally, there's Switch, arguably the game's best mode. Everyone starts off on bikes with 3 lives. Dying lets you respawn in a heavier car, but each death takes a life away from your team. The first team to use use up all of their lives is the loser. What follows is phenomenal. Staying on the bike ensures your team has lives, but dying puts you in a better position to crush the opposition. It's incredibly fun. Each mode feels like a battle, an aggressive back and forth between allies and competitors that rivals that of other games of the same ilk like Dota and Overwatch. 4 modes may not sound like a lot, but when they're as perfectly designed as this, you'll quickly put aside any doubts regarding content. With 8 classes to choose from and 4 modes to taunter, there's a surprising amount of depth to be found here. Luckily, the game's single player mode offers a fresh and breezy introduction to the game's various modes and classes before opening up into a fair but challenging romp that is a solid experience for those wanting to fly solo. Otherwise, each tournament can be completed with up to 5 friends, which is mad. It's such a great idea. I spent the majority of my time rinsing the single player, thoroughly enjoying ticking off each level's list of side objectives as I went along. Aesthetically, Onrush resembles that of an early 2000s sports title like SSX or Tony Hawk's, with all of its unlockable outfits for its characters and vehicles feeling obnoxiously stated pumped, but it works. The entire game leans heavily into its extreme nature, and clothing your driver in colourful singlets emblazoned with the Grim Reaper feels thematically relevant. In fact, the game's entire design is a beautiful explosion of colourful gradients and slapped together audio clips that give it a fun, haphazard vibe that's easy to get behind. Let's talk quickly about those unlocks though, because there's a lot of them and your method of acquiring them is potentially controversial. Calling cards resemble those found in Call of Duty and can be unlocked and then upgraded by completing a host of in-game challenges. That bit's fine. Everything else, however, like alternate character costumes, vehicle designs, tombstone icons and in-game dances are all unlocked via loot crates in an in-game currency system. These purely cosmetic items aren't currently linked to any kind of microtransaction system. In the version I played, loot crates are only handed out via leveling up, but in interviews with the developer, Codemasters haven't ruled out the possibility that some form of one may be added in the future. The system bears striking resemblance to Overwatch, so maybe bear this in mind if you hate those kind of unlock systems. All in all, I love this game. I love how it plays, I love how its modes encourage destruction and reckless driving. I love its doofy punt aesthetic and I adore how it never ceases to be endlessly exhilarating. If you're a fan of SSX, Burnout or competitive hero shooters like Overwatch or even MOBAs like Dota, then there's probably something in Onrush that's absolutely for you. Honestly, it cannot be stated enough, Onrush is absolutely brilliant. So buy it. Didn't be a fanny and let this online community die out straight away. It deserves a long and prosperous life. Alright, cheers. Yeah, alright, thanks for watching. This is the end of the video. I never know how to end these videos, so now I'm doing this weird little Geordie accent, which is a little bit stronger than my own, so why don't you hammer that like button and there was a comment that says, "Here mate, I'm not a fanny, I might buy Onrush Light, it looks pretty tanny." Alright, I love you.